In this video, we'll talk about Chapter 1, Consumer Finance. Let's go over all the sections. In general, you're going to learn everything you've ever wanted to know, well, not everything, about consumer finance, meaning you'll figure out how long it'll take to pay off your car, what your car payment will be, how much you really pay for your house, if you were to start investing for retirement now, how much would you be able to withdraw later on, or flip side, if you knew what you needed to live on in the future, how much should you start investing now? So in the very first section, we start with simple interest, which happens to be the basis of all other formulas in the chapter. Even though simple interest generally is not used in day-to-day finance calculations, it is necessary for everything else. Repeated use of simple interest, as you'll discover, becomes compound interest. And then repeated use of compound interest, depending on the scenario, results in the other formulas as well. So in consumer loans, you learn about if you were to pay for 10 years of a 30-year cycle, how much more do you have to pay off? And then with that information, you can figure out if you were to refinance, what the new payments would be. Something that was very important not too long ago. And then in section 1.4, more about home loans. You learn about what really happens to your mortgage payment. This is also true for anything you're trying to pay off. And that also includes like a car or a boat. If you have a boat, that's fine. What really happens, and unfortunately it's sort of depressing, where your money actually goes. And then we'll talk also about ways you can try to ease the burden of paying off interest and things like that. But in 1.5, things get a little bit better. We talk about when interest works for you in your retirement. So if you put a little money away each month or every week or however often, how that account earns interest. And then if you just let it sit there, it still earns interest. Even while you are taking part of it out, it's still earning interest. And then in the last section, 1.6, average daily balance, we talk about credit card loans typically, because the finance charge for a credit card is based on this magical thing called an average daily balance. The concept of an average daily balance we actually see 3 times in this class. One happens to be in this chapter, and the other 2 appear later on. So chapter 1, money, money, money.